red carpet. Just introduce your concept, introduce your truck. What is it, and what should people be excited about with it?
So I create the fifth taste. It's come from the umami band. It's a umami that you cannot explain the flavor. Like every kind of food, like every vegetables or every dish has an umami.
Hey there, Omaha. Welcome into another episode of Restaurant Hoppen. I'm your host, Dan Hoppen, and in the summer of 2025, I started seeing some social media posts about this new food truck that was coming out. It's called The Fifth Taste by Chef Gerald, and the photos looked fantastic, and I love Filipino food, but there are not very many places to get it in Omaha. I the only problem was I knew almost nothing about this. I didn't know where this truck was or where it had come from. I didn't know who the chef was, other than his name was obviously Gerald because it's in the name of the truck. But once I finally got a chance to taste this food, I was just like, yes, this was worth it. And now I want to introduce you to this guy and hear his story because I think it's going to be incredibly fascinating. My guest today on the podcast is Chef Gerald Dimabuyu. He is the owner of the Fifth Taste food truck. Gerald, welcome to the show.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for having me here.
Of
I
course.
appreciate it.
It is my pleasure.
Yes.
So if somebody's listening to this and they are hearing about the Fifth Taste for the first time, I want you to be able to red carpet, just introduce your concept, introduce your truck. What is it, and what should people be excited about with it?
So I create the fifth taste. It's come from the umami band. It's a umami that you cannot explain the flavor. Like every kind of food, like every vegetables or every dish has an umami, despite no matter what kind of cuisine is it. Okay, the fifth taste is this consists of the Southeast Asian countries. I grew up, born and raised in the Philippines, and we do have a lot of food back home. Like I came in the Pampanga, which is used to be a culinary capital in the Philippines, and most of the people from Pampanga know how to cook. Okay, so back then, because of my traveling job, I've been seeing a lot of cuisines from Southeast Asia, like very much. So when I create this food truck, I want to have bring the Southeast Asian cultures food to the states. Like if you see my menu, it's focused on the Southeast Asian countries. That was I created those that kind of recipes and flavors.
I found it so fascinating that you decided to basically center your truck around umami, which is the fifth taste, as
Yes.
it's named. You've got salty, you've got sweet, you've got bitter, you've got sour. And like you mentioned, all those tastes people are very familiar with. Like
Yes.
those are pretty easy to define. People understand those really well. But if you try and describe umami, it's kind of like you almost just have to say you just got to taste it, or you have
Yeah.
to like give someone food and be like, that's umami, because it's so difficult to put into words. How
Unexplainable. Very much unexplainable. Like every kind of dish, there's always a flavor that even the chefs does not recognize when this mix all together. It's like a chemistry. It's like when you eat it, the whole thing is like a bomb in your mouth. It's like it's so hard to explain, but yet it's addicting.
Mhm.
Very much addicting. You know. So on that kind of concept, like for me being an Asian root, like an Asian guy, like all the foods that we're making is pretty much not day old food. We make it fresh every day. And then the freshness of that will create a lot of flavors in there.
That's something that really strikes me about your food. One of the things that hit me the first time that I tasted it was yes, there was a really nice fluffy Japanese rice. The protein was great. The sauces were very flavorful. We'll get into all that. But what struck me was the freshness of the vegetables. Just how they had that crunch, they had that spring to them, and that lifted the dish so much. So I love that you just mentioned vegetables and how that's a big part of umami too. I think when people think about umami, it's a lot of sauces, it's a lot of spices, but even something as simple as just having really fresh, well-cut vegetables can
Yeah.
make a huge difference as well.
Yeah, because every plate that we're preparing is like there's always consists of proteins, carbohydrates, and vegetables. It's a good balanced diet, and that's what we need. That's why I bring that concept in the truck. It's not, it's like a restaurant style. Bringing a food truck with a full balanced diet in there. Like you don't have feel regret that I ate at the food truck today. I ate a lot of thing. I don't see any healthy there. But when I have my bowl, it's a consist of proteins and carbohydrates and vegetables. Like you eat like no guilty.
Maybe a little guilty if it's a bowl full of pork belly.
Yeah,
No,
that's the one.
But everything in balance. Everything in
Yes,
balance.
of course, of course.
So we'll get more into your background, but we got to touch on this off the bat.
Sure.
The food truck is not your full-time gig. You
No.
are actually in nursing school right now.
Yes.
So what does that balance look like for you? How do you balance being in nursing school and now having this food truck?
So being in a nursing school, being in a how do I call it this one? So being in a food truck, that's my first passion, like being a chef. And then later on, when the pandemic hits, I came to the medical field because they need a lot of medical workers
Mhm.
back then. And the hospitality industry, they're not doing better because COVID thing, pandemic hits. There's no a lot of people going outside. So I went to the medical field and I fell in love working geriatrics people. I work in the one in Omaha. They call it Esprit Whispering Ridge. I worked there for 5 years now, and until now I'm still working there. And with the balancing with the school, like I said, I always swing it. Like today is my school day. I focus on my school. The next day is my food truck day. I focus on my food truck. I just wanna focus on every situation that I go with day by day. I don't worry about tomorrow. Just worry today.
Fair enough. I
Yeah.
mean, I can barely just keep one life together. I can't imagine having two worlds that you've got to balance,
Yes.
but I think that's probably the best approach is just
Yeah.
don't let yourself get overwhelmed.
No.
Take it day by day.
Yep, day by day. And especially it's two different worlds, Dan. Like being in the medical field and being in hospitality management, like hospitality life, is very big different world.
Well, tell me about that. How so?
So medical workers, it's so sometimes it's overwhelming, but it's so fulfilling when you see your patient, when you see your resident are happy when you service and care. In hospitality too, the same thing. When you see your customers that they love the food that you're serving, it's so fulfilling too. So it's two different worlds, but it's attraction, it's customer service there. So I don't have problem dealing with the customer service because I think it's by natural for me that I like dealing with the customers, every clients.
That's interesting. I would never think about connecting those two worlds through the lens of customer service, but you're right. You're interacting with people and trying to make them happy by nourishing their bodies
Yes.
in different ways, but you're ultimately achieving a very similar goal.
Yeah, customer service and client service. It's so fulfilling. It's so pretty much very good.
All right. So throughout this conversation, you're going to be hungry. You're going to want to find this thing. Follow The Fifth Taste by Chef Gerald on Instagram and on Facebook. We're going to talk about it, but you pop up in a lot of different places all over town.
Yes.
So for somebody to best keep up with where they might be able to find your food truck, social media would be the way to go.
Sure, yeah.
You're pretty good about posting where you're going to be several days in advance so someone can plan ahead.
Yes, and they can also personal message me in the Facebook or Instagram. So, or maybe they can call me or text me if they want to ask something. I'm pretty okay with that with the customers.
Perfect. All right, so let's introduce this cuisine a little bit more. You don't stick strictly to Filipino food. You introduce some other Southeast Asian flavors. But tell me a little bit about Filipino cuisine because, like I said in my intro, this is not something that we have a lot of in Omaha. There was another pop-up that did it a couple of years ago, and I remember being so excited. And then, unfortunately, he he stopped doing it. So when that was something that so excited me about your truck when I started seeing stuff about it.
Mhm.
What what are some of the flavors, techniques, dishes that make Filipino cuisine special?
So I could say like because we are colonized from other countries like Spain, America, and Japan. So our food is so wide flavors. Is like I could say is like on my knowledge because I'll be honest to you, I didn't focus a lot with the Filipino cuisines. So I'm just focusing on what I saw and what I have been dealing with back home. So our food is like consists of with the Chinese cuisine too, Spanish cuisine and American cuisine. Like every restaurant back home, it's like a different kind of flavors too. Like we do have a national dish. They call it adobo. It's like a soy sauce, vinegar, but the soy sauce was introduced by the Chinese, right? And then the vinegar. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, then corrected me or someone's viewing corrected me if I'm wrong. They call it the adobo. It's normally it's just a vinegar and salt until like later on the Chinese came, they put some soy sauce in there, and that's why they create some adobo. But like I said, every household has their own recipe of that food. My recipe of adobo is very traditional. It's just the way like soy sauce, vinegar with some aromatics and nothing else. It's just a technique on how you make it. Other than that, they introduced also with the tomato sauce from the Spanish too, and that's why we started to having like a caldereta. If you have the caldereta, it's pork spare ribs or beef spare ribs.
I've not yet, but I've seen them. I've seen you post pictures, and I'm just like, I want that
Yeah.
very badly.
Yes, it's like a stew meat with the tomato sauce, with some liver spread and aromatics in there. We always serve our food with rice. We eat rice 3 times a day or 4 times a day sometimes. We are a rice lover. We always go like without rice we are not no, we're not gonna get good. Okay, so we have a Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. Okay, we do have also the lechon. It's like a whole suckling pig that they're gonna roast it in the charcoal. Like so, like I said, every region have a different recipe. It's the same like the caldereta in my region is different how they make it. Some other regions different how they make it too. It's like their own family recipe, generation by generations.
Hmm.
And we do have a how they call it. We do have a fiesta. It's like a saint's how do you call it? It's like a saint feast. Like for example, our saint is Santo Nino, so we do have a feast. Like every household are preparing a lot of food. It's like a buffet style food, a different kind of food. So if you're hungry, just go to their house. Sometimes it's like you can eat. And sometimes it's like call it a mini reunion, like every of your family relatives, we come to your house and eat your food. That's how we celebrate back home. The like table back in the Philippines, every occasion's like it's always full of food.
Hmm.
Less dessert. It's
More on the savory.
more on the savory.
Okay, so you've got all these influences, you've got all these dishes, all this inspiration that you could draw from, but you're on a food truck.
Yes.
You can't serve logistically, just with the room that you have to store things and to
Yeah.
prepare, you can't serve more than probably 6 or 7 dishes.
Yes.
So, as you're coming up with this concept and dreaming of what this food truck could be, how do you take all this that you've experienced, all this food that you love, and decide these are the dishes that I'm going to serve?
Yeah. So what I'm thinking and planning, I started to do a weekly special. Like I said, I make the last week special, which is the sisig, and some of the people they love to try it because this is the first time they saw it. And some of my country people from the Philippines they came and told me like, hey, we want to try the sisig. We never we never find like a good sisig out there, but we want to try to give you a shot at your food. And yeah, I do have like customers like literally love it, and one of that is also adventurous and love to try it and say like, oh my god, this sisig is something there, something like that. So with that kind of concept that I wanted to do is like to create like every week special and try introduce this kind of food. So it's gonna take me like a lot of time for sure to prepare and to get that things going.
Hmm.
At first, when I create this menu on my food truck, I have a doubts like, what if I sell just a Filipino food? What if I do that, or who's my market? And that Filipino food. I know we have a lot of Filipino community here in Omaha, but who's my market? I would like also, like if we're locals here that wanted to try the Filipino, but how much people are adventurous to try this? Maybe you, sir, because you love food, because you're a gastronom. But how much people? So that's why I thought to myself, like, let me create something that everyone could love it, and then slowly insert those food until like people will know it. And then later on, I'm gonna switch it, and then there you go.
So you get your name out there first with dishes that people recognize,
Yeah.
and then start to adapt it more into the food that you really want to serve.
Yes.
I think that's really smart because when I think of like your opening menu, I'm remembering the dishes. There's a salmon dish. There's a pork belly dish. There was a orange chicken, like fried chicken with an orange sauce.
Yes.
There was a garlic butter shrimp dish. These are all things that people recognize very well, and you're not just putting out like something that they could get at Chinese takeout or whatever.
No.
You're putting your spin, you're putting your skill
Yeah.
and your flavors into it. But yeah, once people try those and you gain your trust, then they'll try sisig. Then they'll
Yes.
try lumpia. Then they'll
Yep.
try some of the more traditional dishes. I love that so much.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see this continue to evolve.
Yes, I do have a lot of ideas how like to do it. Like a lot of ideas. Like there's one guy told me that, hey, are you thinking to open a restaurant, not a food truck? I said like, yeah, maybe in the future, but let me see if I could handle that more. But the thing on me is like I said, like create every week dish and let people knows it. What kind of food is this? I want to create a lot of dish, like a lot of dish, like from all the Southeast Asia, not only Filipino, like all Southeast Asia. So my concept of creating in every dish, I get all the ingredients from the country where they originate.
That-
Yep, that's the concept. Is like I want to preserve the authentic taste. Being preserved authentic state, the authentic taste, you have to get all the ingredients from the country originate that food. Yeah, I like fusion. Don't get me wrong with the fusion. I like fusions, but I will preserve the authentic 90% and 10% fusion, so that people will know what kind of food is this. You know? So every time I create a one dish like authentic one, I have my neighbor. His name is Jamie. So I'm like, hey buddy, come and taste this one. Jamie is a very like food critic. His palate is different. So every time it's like, bro, this one is money. I always say that.
So, what has people's response been to the truck so far? Because like you're saying, you're introducing foods and flavors that are unfamiliar to a lot of the people that you're serving, especially when we're talking about like the sisig,
Yeah.
or some of those
Yeah.
more traditional dishes that you think people might be a little hesitant and I might need to be a little bit more adventurous. What has the response been when they have tasted those?
Yeah, so like the sisig, for example, I did it last week. A great response from people. Like some already know it because they go to the Filipino party. They've been see the sisig already, so they're kind of like familiar on that. But some people they just wanted to be adventurous. So they came there, they tried, and they told me like, bro, that flavor that you put it in there, I don't know what you put it in there. We just only taste the ingredients that you have, but how do you mix it up that? Because I make the authentic one, because I came from Pampanga, and the sisig was born that on Pampanga. So I don't put anything ingredients on there beside the authentic how we made it back home. So like I said, I preserve the authentic because being preserved the authentic, you respect the culture of that food.
Right.
So that's what I did. So I create that based on authenticity. Who create that sisig? That's my respect to that. The lady name is Aling Lusing Sisig. So that's the one who created that sisig recipe. Until like every street in the Philippines, pretty much there's a lot of sisig. A lot of different recipes. Some people they want to elevate the flavor, which is good too. you know. But back home in the Philippines, in Pampanga, like I said, the sisig have the like the recipe that we have. We follow the authentic one though.
How important is it for you to tell stories through your food? Because I can see it just in the way that you talk about your dishes. You don't just want to serve someone a bowl of sisig. You want them to understand what you just told me, where it comes from,
Yes.
the authentic flavors and ingredients and the story behind it. How important is it to you to not just serve someone a bowl or a plate of food, but for them to understand what this really is and where it came from?
Yes, for me, it's like I said, it's like being respect to the cultures who created that, like give all the chemistries, give all the flavor that they put in there. It's very important to me. Like when you come to my truck, I just don't call you by your name. I just call you and then presented the food to you. Like if you have any question about this food, please ask me and I will show it to you where they came from. Like like I said, it's like a respect to the people and the culture who created that dish. Meanwhile, I created also by mixing all the ingredients that's available that I can see in the market, and also to preserve, like I said, the authenticity of the dish. Like a lot of customers told me, like every time I give the orange chickens or the Korean pork belly, they told me like it's like beautiful. They take a picture in our hands and everything, and we just don't, like I said, we just don't call their name. We presented the bowl that they order, and like, hey, if you have anything that you don't want it in here, you let me know right now so we can take it out. And some of them, they don't. It's like they always swing it. They always eat it, like kimchi. Not everyone love kimchi, but without Korean food, when you mix it up with your food, it's different flavor.
Yeah, you might not like kimchi on its own, but in a dish where it's balanced with everything else, sure, have an open
Everything,
mind, give it a try.
yeah, it's so good though. It's a good balanced flavor. Like I said, that Korean pork belly bowl that I have,
Oh, it's fantastic.
yeah, all the ingredients that I put in there, the ingredients is come from Korea. See, that's why you see the authenticity of the dish.
Hmm.
It's not how do you call it? It's not the one that I created and mix up with everything. Like that's how I respect the culture of the every nations that I'm creating a food to them.
How difficult is it to source those ingredients?
It's easy.
Really?
We have Asian market in here.
The Asian market is very close.
Yeah, we have Asian market there every week. I'll be there twice a week, and sometimes I order online. If I don't see an Asian market, I order online.
Fair enough.
It's gonna take a while because logistics is gonna take a while, but it's good that I have pretty much do the planning, do the schedulings of my dish. If I don't have this one, the next week I'm ordering right now.
Yeah. Okay, let's get into your background. How did you get into cooking originally?
Oh, hi. So I started. I came to the family that they love to cook the food, like the fiesta. I always love to see my aunts, my family, my mom, and my family relatives back there. They making food, so I love to see how they make the food. We and then later on, I came to hospitality management back there in the Philippines. Went there for 2 years in college, and then my brother, he's a seafarer. He told me like, "Hey, bro, do you want to go on board in the ship to become a seafarer in a merchant vessel?" I said, like, okay, let's go give a try. I started sailing when I was 19. So 19 years old, I was working as a galley steward. So I saw my chef. They create a lot of food, and I told to my chef like, hey, I want to know how to cook. I was 19 years old back there, and being overseas is so hard, a lot of job. And told me like, okay, let's go start peeling potatoes. He gave me 100 pounds of potato to peel it, and then after I finished that, they gave me some onions to chop it up. 100 pounds of onions. So I'm like, and I told him, it's like, hey, I just know how to cook. It's like, yeah, this is the basic, bro. You should know how to treat the ingredients well before you go to the hot stations. So I have like 4 months there with 5 hours sleep every day without day off.
Mm.
Yeah. So I know how to do the techniques of all the cuisines. I remember I don't forget that shift. I worked with a British company. So all our officers and crews are British. So knowing the British cuisine, that do what on that onboard shift is so good. So after that, I moved to the other companies that they serve Italian food. So every time I go to a different ship, they send me to go to the trainings to do the learn the Italian food. That's why I learned how to cook authentic Italian food because of my officers and crews that they show me how to make their own food. So and after that, I've been there for 8 years working in the ship, traveling around the world, being I think 50 or 60 countries already. And it's funny because every country that I've been go to the market and eat their local food. Like name it, like from all the continents, I've been trying to eat their own local foods. So that for me to know, like I said, the authenticity of this dish of these countries. And then after that 8 years, I stopped sailing. I had an opportunity went to Texas to Austin. It's new to me because I never been in the States that time. So I work at JW Marriott that time, and I've been working with the very professional chefs there. Like that hotel is huge. It is like a 37 floor, 1,000 rooms. So
Oh, wow.
yeah, it's a
Holy
very huge one.
crap.
I work in that restaurant, and then they show me the proper way, how to make it, the foods and everything. So I stayed there for a year. Then went back in Singapore. I became the head chef of the one restaurant there. That's why I learned a lot of Asian cuisine in Singapore. Have you been in Singapore?
I have not.
If you've been in Singapore, oh my God, the food stall they call it hawker. You see a lot of food like since the umami, it's over there too.
Yeah. They got a lot of the umami.
Yeah. Oh my God, because the food are fresh to made it, the flavors. So went there for 2 years. So became the head chef in the one Indonesian Malaysian restaurant back there. So yeah, that's my stories of my cooking background.
I'm just so fascinated because you told me a little bit of this prior to this conversation, but I mean, we just basically condensed over a decade into 3 minutes so that
Yeah.
we could just go so many different directions based off what you just told me. What I'm most fascinated by is you're talking about, I mean, obviously you had a love for food growing up,
Mm-hmm.
Filipino food.
Yeah.
Then you learn how to cook British food.
Yeah.
Then you learn how to cook Italian food. All the while you're doing this traveling and you're going into these local markets and you're experiencing all these different flavors.
Yeah.
So I mean, and then you work in Singapore. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's a different cuisine. You've got all these different
Mm-hmm.
influences in your mind now. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
just as someone who loves food, how fascinating is that for you to not just say, okay, I love Filipino food. That's going to be what I do, but you've got all these different
Yeah.
influences that you can draw from now. Well,
Yeah.
what was that like for you just getting to experience so many different cuisines?
Yeah. Like it's for me. It's like I love it because I learn it from the local people. Like for me, is to introduce to the market now. Like I hope people will love to try different kind of cuisine too. Like every cuisine has a very much flavors and all there. And now that's my goal to show it to everyone, like this kind of food.
Hmm.
And I'm so excited for that.
I think that other people who had your background and have experienced so many different cuisines and have cooked so many different cuisines,
Mhm.
they would be very tempted to go the fusion route.
Yes.
And you even mentioned fusion isn't bad.
Hmm.
There are people who do fusion very, very well. There are people who do fusion very poorly
Hmm.
to the point where they really don't respect either culture that
Yeah.
they're melding together, and
Yeah.
it's just kind of a mishmash.
Hmm.
I think that you would do a better job of that, but you've decided not to go that route. You want to be super authentic. You
Hmm.
want to stay true to what the dish is. Why? Why is that so important to you?
Like I said, it's like I love the respect. Always love the respect. Without respect, is things is not nothing good. And the food that we have to eat, like I said, like my mom is like keeps making this kind of food. like this kind of cuisine. It's like I don't like destroy that recipes generation by generations. Like likewise from other countries, they don't want to also disrespect their food. It's how they make this food. It's like a more on traditions. I like tradition food. I like authentic food. The way for me to preserve that is ask, watch, and read before I'm gonna create this dish. Like if I have to make the salmon bowl, like I said, okay, I have the salmon bowl. I had that idea when I was in Japan. I always lived that in Japan all the time, like pretty much all the time. So I saw how they make their salmon. The salmon over there is a very unique flavor that you have. You tried my salmon bowl, right?
It was fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah. So that flavor is I did taste that one in Japan. So when I bring it in here, I have one of my customers is Japanese. He tried the salmon bowl. He told me like I feel like I'm in the street in Tokyo, eating right now. See that feeling? That feeling that were you the one who created that? It's so different. Like I've been in state, but yet I close my eyes. I feel like I'm eating this one and I'm in Japan.
I mean, I can see the excitement in your face right now, just remembering that interaction and the impact that you had on that person. That's what fuels you. That's what keeps you going. So I would love for you to kind of unpack that a little bit. And let's use the salmon bowl as an example. So you decide, I want to have a salmon bowl on my menu. And you talked about you're talking to people, you're doing the research, you're reading. What did you do to pull that bowl together and decide what elements you were going to have in that salmon bowl?
So the salmon bowl, how do we call it? Because I love salmon, okay? And then I remember when I was in Tokyo that time, and I know the ingredients in Japan is really fantastic. Produce, proteins, beef, they're really good. So when I was passing there and I saw the salmon, how they treat the salmon, really really good, raw sashimi or sushis and anything, makis and everything. And I saw the guy, he's putting the sauce in the salmon and putting all these ingredients. And I'm like, oh, let's go, I create that one. Let's go, I can copy that one. And then it's like the salmon that I have in my salmon bowl is like a sushi, right? It's like a cooked salmon, but it's a sushi when you eat it with the salmon and the rice and all the furikake that I put it in there, the unagi sauce and a Japanese mayo, mixed it all. It's a bomb. It's a different flavor, very much different flavor. On the top of that, with the freshest ingredients, like the mixed greens, the cherry tomatoes with the sweetness of like edamame too, with a cucumber in there. It's like it's all in there. Like you don't miss anything in there. That's I think one of my best sellers is salmon bowl.
As it should be.
Yeah, there's a salmon bowl. A lot of my customers are looking for that salmon. You know.
Well, it's that balance of. I mean, you can go anywhere in Omaha basically and get some preparation of salmon on the menu.
Yes.
So people are very familiar with salmon. They might not be as familiar with unagi sauce or edamame or things like that, but you can take this thing that everyone's familiar with and say, yeah, I know salmon, but you can use that as a way to say, okay, yes, you get your salmon, but try it with furikake. Try it with, these different sauces and ingredients that you might not have experienced yet. That's a way to open people's eyes.
It is. And that's my goal, to open the people's eyes, what we could offer. Like I said, what we could offer back there. And slowly and gradually, I will introduce, like I said, everything to the people in the market. I just want to make sure that everyone is comfortable first. Then later on, I'm going to do it.
I can't wait for that because I'm one of those people who I want all the authentic stuff right now.
Yes.
But it'll come. All in good time.
Yeah.
All in good time.
I'm doing that. I'm kind of like doing the full-time food truck probably this coming December.
Okay.
Because my school I'll be done in school in November. So I'll be doing full-time after that.
Okay.
Doing a full-time food truck. So you're going to see me like 3 or 4 times a week now instead of 2 times a week.
Okay. So I want to get back to your story. The last that we heard in your story, you were a chef at a restaurant in Singapore. How did you get back to the United States? Or how did
So
you get to the United States?
so my wife has a visa like a she's a nurse, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And then that time pandemic, we really needed a lot of nurse here in the states. So she did the examination, she passed the NCLEX, and then we came in state because of some there's a one hospital sponsor her visas and everything. So when I came here, I be honest to you, I was burnout on cooking. Burnout, like I've been cooking nonstop for 13 years, nonstop. When I came in state, I don't want to cook anymore. Seriously,
And it's a hard job.
yeah, I don't want to cook anymore. And my wife told me like, "Are you sure you don't want to cook? Do you want to do a medical field?" That's why I came to become a medical field, and I fell in love with medical field, like I said. But I did a part-time job, one Italian restaurant here in Omaha, and then I don't know. I don't want to cook anymore that time. Like in the last 4 or 5 years, I don't want to cook anymore. And then later on, there's a friend of mine kept asking me, "Hey, can you be my private chef? Like I don't have time to make a food in our house. Can you make some dish and everything?" I said, "Like no, I don't want it. I'm start. I'm tired of cooking now. I don't want to do it anymore." And then, of course, her name is. They are family of J.S. Russell Electric. They're the one who have me to get me back in track. To hey, you don't want to cook with, why don't you try doing these things? I start cooking because of them. They encourage me to do it again, and that's why the flame get burned big because of that kind of thing.
They reinvigorated your love for cooking.
Yes, even though I'm tired of making food, I'm still making some food for me and my wife. Sometimes she told me like, "Hey, let's go eat outside." I said, "How about let me create something?" Because I
You
told
got
her,
to scratch that itch. Yeah.
yeah. And then every time she told me that, I create a lot of food. I have on my personal Facebook page. I see all my reels over there that I'm still creating a good food. But like I said, on that day, I told to my wife like, I feel like there's a flame come back. And she told me like, I know, right? What's your plan? Like, I want to create a food truck. And then she told me like, okay, what's your menu? So I've done some research and everything. Like I said, because I know a lot of cuisine, a lot of ideas in me. Don't get me wrong, I have a 3 long pages of the food that I want to cook. And then she told me like, you cannot serve that in a food truck. You're not serving buffet. And I used to cook a lot. All my friends, they always tell me like, hey, bro, we are only like 3 people eating. Why you make some for good for 10? 'Cause I'm not used to it because I work in the ship that I feed a lot of crews.
Sure. You were feeding hundreds of people,
Yeah,
if not thousands.
yeah, I always cook a lot. I don't cook for one family. I don't know. I'm not used to it. I'm making some small type of food. And yes, after that, after that thing is,
Brock,
I lost my thought on that.
yeah, let's mark this to edit it.
Sorry.
So you got the itch again. You're excited to cook again, and you're talking to your wife about it, and you say, "I want to start a food truck." Why a food truck?
Yeah, the food truck is. I always wanted to have a food truck before we came to state. I told to her, it's like, hey, I want to have a food truck, and I want to, like I said, I want to introduce this kind of food to the people. And I know it's a lot of job because kitchen, but that kind of job for me is like it's my world, being a chef. I never get, I never get say no when I work in the kitchens. Like I make like 15 dish or 14 dish in just a couple of hours. That's because I love it. It's my passion. So. At the same time, it's my passion being in the medical field too. I don't know what to say, but like I said, I just know how to balance my life.
But I mean, with all these experiences you've had in your career, you hadn't owned. Had you worked on a food truck to this point?
No.
Like what was the attraction of, like you've worked in restaurants, you've worked on boats, you've worked in a hotel, you've worked in all these different environments, and like one of the few that you haven't worked in, that's the one where you were like, that's what I want to do. Why?
So the restaurant. So I run the restaurant in Singapore. So I am the head chef there, and I'm the in charge of all operations and everything. So I see myself like the restaurant is the same like in a food truck, pretty much. operation wise is pretty much you prep, you cook, you sell. So I started to know the system having a restaurant business. So it happened that what if I put the restaurant concepts to my food truck? And it worked. It works. I'm the only one who assemble prepping all my food. It doesn't mean that I don't trust people, but I'm just saying it's like I want to make sure that everything was in the right directions. Every ingredients that I'm putting there, I'm the one who put in there.
So, I mean, if you're doing all the prep work, like pull back the curtain for us. Before a service, how many hours of prep work are you putting in?
Like at least 3 hours, at least.
Really?
Yeah.
That little?
Yeah. Because
Man.
I make your salmon fresh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's true, yeah.
I make your steak fresh. I know he's gonna wait for long in the line. Like I would tell to my customer, like, hey, is that okay if we wait like 10 to 15 minutes? Because I want to make sure that your food is fresh. I make a shrimp bowl fresh. So with that thing, I don't have prep on there. I prep that one in the truck.
Mm-hmm.
Only that a couple of dishes that I'm making is the one I prepared. So that's why it won't take me long. And because of the experience that I have, I know the way and the easy way. And day by day, I learn. It's always like that.
So, soft opening was Friday, July 25th. You parked at the Indian Creek or Indian Point Park Clubhouse over by Costco. When I bring up that day, what memories spring to the front of your mind?
Oh my God. I didn't expect that so much busy. They murdered me that day. They murdered me that day. It's like, I was surprised all the friends show up and I see where I need to improve on that day. I think the only mistake that I did on that day, I create, like I said, my mind is a lot of things. I create like, I think 8 dish, like a 6 entree or 7 entree, which is okay. But later on in thing, I cut it down some of the entrees and do it in special. But like I said, that day is so much overwhelming on me, and the flame is even more bigger. That I worked like so much energy that day. I'm so happy. I was so blessed. That day was happening at soft opening. Like I remember, I invited you that day if you want to go to my soft opening. I know, but you have a plans, other plans. But that day, there's one customer there, and later on, she told me like, "Hey, can you cater my event?" Because she didn't tell me that she's going there. Okay, and then she just tried the food, and then later on, she contacted me if I cater their company annual, I think, celebrations. Yeah, so I did that one, and it just happened like the last 2 weeks ago. That day,
Mm-hmm.
and then I think I sold like 160, 150 bowls.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Shoot.
With 2 people.
That's crazy.
With 2 people. Yes, I move fast, but at the same time, quality and consistency is there.
Sure, of course.
You should be.
So you mentioned you were burned out on cooking.
Yes.
You were done with cooking.
Yes.
The flame reignites, you rediscover it.
Mm-hmm.
Take me back to right after you opened the truck, that first night. They murdered you.
Yeah,
Everybody
they murdered me.
swarmed you. They murdered you.
Yeah.
That first night, were you excited again? Like, you're dead tired, but are you excited, or are you just like, oh man, what have I gotten myself into?
I was so excited to do more.
Okay.
Very much excited to do more. Very much. Like, I told to my wife, it's like, hey, I'm so happy what I'm doing right now. Like, I don't feel the burnout right now. Because I think I own this. I don't work from other people.
It's yours.
It's mine. So I can do whatever I want. On that, whatever I want to put, whatever I want to cook, I can do pretty much all because I'm the one who created it. I'm the one who own it. And then that flame is really boom. Until now, I still love it though. Like I don't feel tired.
Take me into that freedom. Because you've spent your whole career.
Yeah.
Yes, you're cooking, but you're cooking other people's food. You're
Yes.
cooking their concept. You're
Yes.
cooking their ideas.
Yeah.
Now, like you said, it's you.
Yeah.
If you want to put sisig on the menu, you can.
Yes.
If you want to dress up your salmon dish however you want to do it.
It's mine.
You do it your
Yep.
way. What does that level of freedom do for you and for your energy?
Oh my God. It's like I said, it's very much it's very much all the freedom that I could have. It's so feels so good. And imagine you create your own food. You know, you this dish was known for you, not for my boss. You know, so those things is like very much different. When you create your own thing, it's like an art.
Yeah.
Like an art. When you create this one, your proud is there. You put all your hours, your confidence, and all the hard things is in there. And then when the people feedback, that's so much rewarding. Very much rewarding.
Now that you've had a couple months on a food truck,
2 months.
2 months,
Yep.
what are some of the most important things you've learned?
S- Important thing that I learned is like to be more serving more fast as I could, but it's so hard to do it because I want to make it preserve the freshness.
Right.
That's one thing. But I found something that I have to do something to make it fast, and yet the the quality stay the same. And I already learned that one during my food truck days. Like I before the shop opening, the waiting time is 20 minutes. I got down to 15 minutes, and now I got down to 10 minutes. Like what last week, I was also they murdered me too because of that so much busy. But I love that one because I love the rashness. I love the people feedbacks and me. But I love that feeling. And then the freedom, like I said, I don't follow other people's recipe. My own recipe. And that recipe is reflecting who am I. And you can see that food, my experience in there. Like this coming month after my school, I'm organizing a food to feed the hunger people. So I'm just waiting for which community that I'm going.
So what does that look like? Are you,
So I'm
you're just
making
going
a
to take the truck out?
yeah, and then whoever comes, I give their food for free.
That's incredible, man.
Yeah, I want to do it like a tradition every year or every twice a year.
Wow.
I want to feed the hungry people.
What inspires you to do that?
That's what you gotta do. You gotta feed the hungry. You know, it's way back to give my appreciation to the community, to to serve people, to feed the hungry. Despite if you are have money, no money, if you're hungry, just come to my truck and I'll feed you.
That's amazing, man.
Yeah,
Thank you for doing that. Like
I
that,
will.
it's people like that and things like that
Yeah.
that make this Omaha community special in
Yeah,
my mind.
it's a free of charge, nothing. Just come. I'll give you the bowl of food, and everything's good. I just want to find a good community for me and some regulation that I need to follow for sure. Like I'm planning to do that maybe twice a year to do that to feed the community.
So, what does your future look like, man? Because you're graduating from
Yeah.
school here
Yeah.
in a couple months.
Yes, I am.
Most people, when they would graduate, they would go full time into the medical field.
Mhm.
But you have this background in cooking, you have this reignited love for cooking, and now you've got a food truck.
Yeah.
So you've got these two paths that are available to you. Do you know what does your future look like? What path are you taking?
So I'm packing. I'm doing to the food truck. Okay, my nursing is my plan B. Like business sometimes you get good and bad. You know that. And for me, being having my degree in nursing, being having a nursing work that I can go to the plan B. Like during winter time, you cannot be in the food truck on the 20 degrees or negative degrees. So I can work being a nurse, right?
That is a really interesting off-season job that I don't think many food truck owners can say they have.
It is. It is. Like I plan for that, though. I plan for that. Like I have to be a plan B. Like, what if there's no food truck day? What if the food truck today is kind of like slow? Like I said, business is sometimes ups and down. Then I can be a nurse, is making good too. So I always have a plan B, at least.
Okay.
But like I said, I want to open a restaurant. It's just find some time.
That's the ultimate goal.
Yes.
I would eat at that restaurant tomorrow if it existed. So I'm excited for that future.
Oh, it is. I am. I'm so excited too, because I have more bigger kitchen. I can create more.
I got 2 more questions for you.
Yes, sir.
That I like to ask just about everybody who comes on the show.
Yes, sir.
First one, what is something that you think your guests or your customers don't understand about the restaurant industry that you wish they did understand?
I'm sorry. Could you repeat that question again?
Yeah, sure. It's a wordy question.
Yeah.
So what is something about the restaurant industry and that lifestyle, being a chef, that you think most customers don't understand, but you wish they did understand it?
I think because of the chef, they putting a lot of hours on making some food, making some create some dish. Sometimes we miss family time and all of that. You know that that's one thing that the freedom that sometimes you might be lost it. You know, and people. I think the only thing that I wanted the people to understand is like to be more appreciative. You know, I know some food is not good for you, but it's easy to say in a nice way that, hey, I hope you're okay with suggestions. If you can do this one and do this one. Like I said, it's just a little appreciations is our sadness sometimes.
Just being kind. If you're
Being
giving
kind.
feedback, be kind when you do it.
Oh yes, of course, definitely. Like everyone has their own palate.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone has their own taste. I might be don't like it, but I'm not gonna say anything. I'm still thankful because it's a bless.
Mm-hmm.
It's a blessing. You know?
And to your first point, I would love to thank you for bringing that up. Like, if you think about when do most people get together with their friends and family? Nights, weekends, holidays.
Yes.
When are restaurants most busy? Nights, weekends,
holiday.
holidays. So when you embrace that lifestyle,
Yeah.
you're missing out on a lot of family and friend time. That's a sacrifice that you're making, and
Yes.
it's something that we as diners should be very appreciative of.
Yeah.
Last question to get you out of here on a positive note. What is your favorite part about being a chef, being a part of the restaurant industry?
My favorite thing being a chef is like I create my own food, like the people to introduce to them, and when the people come towards to me and say like, "Hey, that food is amazing, that food is good," that's the way that words are really make me feel to do more better and to
Yeah.
do more, because every day is a different day, and every day is a different treats, and being on that is a more appreciate and more fulfilling thing when they come towards you, they give you good reviews and all this stuff. It's so good.
Well, you deserve the good reviews, man.
Thank you.
People, if you haven't been to this truck, if you haven't heard about it yet, let me be the one to get you to go. I've tried several of the dishes and absolutely loved them, but I'm so excited and so encouraged to hear that you're going to be offering more of the authentic
Yes.
stuff. That's what I really want to dig into. I want to eat things that I've never eaten before. I want to experience
Yes.
things from these countries that I've never been to and may never get a chance to go to, but
Yeah.
you could be that gateway for me.
Yeah.
Thank you, Gerald, so much for
welcome.
bringing this concept to life and to offering that to Omaha and for giving some time to the podcast today.
Of course.
Thank you, man.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it for having me here. It's so good. I feel so good. Like,
God.
yeah, I have. Thank you.
Of course. Omaha, as always, thanks for eating with us.